عليكم. أهلا وسهلا فيكم في رواد. Welcome to Ruwad session. My session is about how to accelerate your startup. My name is Amin Matni and I'm heading incubation programs at QDB and Cubic. A bit about myself. Basically, I am working since 5 years almost at Cubic. I'm heading programs. Basically, my job is to help entrepreneurs, first of all, to design training programs for them and coach them to move and help them grow and raise follow-up investment. So we have two portfolios, the startup to scale, and we have the SMEs that we service them under the industrial workshops. In addition to that, also I design and deliver hackathon with the team, of course. I'm heading the digital and beyond vertical in partnership with Uridu. As you know, I will shortly explain to you how Uridu and Cubic came together many years back. If you would like to email me, my email is amin@qdb.qa. So a nutshell on my background, it's been 20 years in the market. I built up 2 companies for the first 10 years. And the second 10 years, I've been managing 5 years at QSTP and QF, the Center of Innovation, the programs there, and also at Cubic for the last, as I mentioned, 5 years, the programs for startups. Within that time, I coached around 600 startups in Qatar and in Asia, in Europe and Africa. My background, I have a master's, an MFA in design thinking and innovation, and also I'm a licensed strategizer, coach, on business modeling and also on B2B corporate innovation. Our agenda today, we're going to be working at the first bit. I'm going to do an introduction to Cubic programs, so just understand more what Cubic is offering for the entrepreneurs from investments and other offerings. And then I will move towards the program, specifically the Lean Startup and Lean Acceleration Program, while I give you a little bit of kind of like a back overview on how we work out things and how we help entrepreneurs after starting, how they will achieve product market fit. And it's a key milestone to raise follow-up investment and growing. And I will cover also the investment roadmap. We have an investment readiness module for the program. And all along the way, there will be Q&A. So I will have marker slides to stop and take a couple of questions from you. So first and foremost, this is what the Cubic vision is basically developing the next wave of pioneering entrepreneurs from starting startups and also from an entrepreneurial perspective. We sit in the industrial area. We got awarded in 2018 the best MENA region incubator. We were founded by Qatar Development Bank and NAMA, and currently we're single owned by QDB, where as you see in our logo, it's QDB's incubator. And our objective basically is to empower local entrepreneurs to start and grow their companies by incubating, developing, connecting them, and investing in them. We invest in them and we help them to raise follow-up investment from the ecosystem. Some numbers from us, we have around 6,000 applications so far, total 187 incubated companies. We invested in them. We basically used to, in the past, give them grants, 5.7 million cumulative. We gave them that money. We used to give 100,000 riyals grants. Now I'm going to explain to you in a while that we are now on investment and we give convertible notes. And they have managed to raise, this is their revenue, 60 million. We have many offerings and programs, and we have our graduates around 500 plus, and we're almost full. To share with you our goals. So basically we need to develop the next generation of successful entrepreneurs and business leaders. On a second note, we need to contribute towards the development of the country's private sector, and basically is aligned with Qatar national vision to diversify the economy. And the third one is to transfer the mindset of the entrepreneurs, the Qatari companies, in a progressive and effective manner. These are our offerings. So if you look at trainings and investment opportunities when we do investment events, smart funding with the convertible notes, whether from Cubic or from QDB, pre-seed or seed funding. The industrial workshops, we have 12 industrial workshops in the back, and we also linked in to Jahez with the big QDB industrial portfolio. And we offer office spaces, and of course, coaching and mentorship is the key for startups. This is a bundle of our offerings from startup, lean acceleration program, lean manufacturing program for our industrial workshops. We have the lean coach program. We run professionals in the market. We put them in a program to understand how can they support a startup at early stage, because it's so different than a corporate support as a consultant. So they get to know that, and then we commission them to work with us. The Lean Investor, definitely the investor series is key, because we do touch points to support entrepreneurs to raise investment, to meet investors and speakers also, to get inspired. The Fab Lab is in Cubic ground floor, where we have a great facility with an amazing team to help entrepreneurs do prototyping. And this is digital fabrication. So from CNC machines to miller, routers, 3D printers, and there is circuit board printing, and an amazing team to help you really package your first hardware prototype. And also they can support you from a software end. We have mix and match. It's a function that we can bring different entrepreneurs with the ecosystem to recruit a team member, whether a partner or other team members. And speaker series are, of course, inspirational touch points for the community. We share with you here the verticals that we have in Cubic. So first one, you can apply to Cubic, and Cubic, whether through industrial workshops or whether Cubic as a startup support, you can apply to Cubic and you go into Cubic general bucket. There's another vertical in partnership with Uridu. It's called Digital and Beyond. And basically through this partnership, Uridu is interested in specific themes, tech or tech-enabled themes. And Uridu is investing in those startups. Myself and my colleague also were handling that vertical. And Cubic General, of course, there's a team of incubation handling the service of our entrepreneurs. And of course, there's Jahez as industrial workshop portfolio. Now, I will share with you the journey and your journey as an entrepreneur from an idea stage, but then I will dive into acceleration stage. So imagine you are having an idea, or you just build up something like a minimum viable product or just a landing page. We put you in a lean startup program for 10 weeks. And on selection day, you will be pitching as a startup to raise 250,000 riyals, out of which 100,000 is cash and 100,000 is the value of in-kind that we provide you for a period of 1 year, from coaches to trainings to office to exposure. So the total is 250,000 riyals worth of investment that will go on a convertible note. On selection day, then you will be invited to do a milestone plan, and based on that, we will support you with the disbursement of the funds. And then we help you to activate, and we coach you, and we provide you all the needed support. And in May, you come in for a demo day where you will pitch for the public. Just to note that selection day earlier, it's private. You just present to the incubation community. The demo day and investor day, it's a bundled high impact experience to invite investors, angels and VCs and syndicate angels that exist in the market. And it's a vetted really invite of investors that already got invited and already got, they invested in our startups. So we have a very well validated machine on how to source investors and how to help them to scout leads, and you will be pitching for your raising funds. So this is in May, when you come in, you will be raising external investment. And then on 1 year later, because it's 1 year incubation, we do a quick check-in and you can raise more investment from Cubic and another 250,000 with another year where we can accelerate you. Now, if you come in at this stage, and I'm gonna put out here my laser pointer, if you are already in the market, have a product live, a committed entrepreneur, basically at least one full-timer, and has revenue, you should have revenue, you can apply, and that's the point of our talk today, is looking from here onward, how we can help you accelerate, all right? And then within 1 year of incubation, if we can put you in a program, and in May, you do pitching for investment, and here you access also the investment, and you get 1 year incubation. And then later on you grow. I'm gonna take you through a detailed journey if you come in from the acceleration, not from the startup. So this is our offerings again, as I mentioned, it's 250,000 riyals based on a convertible note. It's a vehicle that it is a debt vehicle, but you don't pay every month, a certain payment, but it is a debt that will be converted to future equity, all right? So this is a new vehicle that PDB and Cubic is introducing to the market, where we will facilitate the equity for the entrepreneurs to source investment. At early stage, there's no valuation. You cannot put a value for the startup. It's too early, and that will help the entrepreneurs source investment. And once there will be valuation in the future, then this previous investment will be converted to a percentage. This is a common practice with the Y Combinator in the US and other places. And this is going to be hopefully easing the access to investment. Looking at the Lean Startup program, it says around 10 weeks, 2 sessions per week, Sundays and Wednesdays. Sundays, usually entrepreneurs come and pitch what happened in their development on the experiments that they're running in the market. And on Wednesdays, we give them seminars and workshops. And basically, this will help them to apply in the market, go to their customers, apply what we're talking about, and then come in on Sunday and share. And it's a compounded impact. It's a big snowball that moves week on week in the program. And basically, the whole objective is to help them achieve problem solution fit. We de-risk their early steps, have the needed mindset to go lean, focus on their customers, and then we help them to source investment. So some numbers on this existing cohort, which is in the 14th version of the Lean Startup program, we have received around 600 applications for the 11 weeks. We started the program with 43, out of which 20 have already a minimum viable product. So we see that the maturity of the ecosystem is not like people are coming with an idea and waiting for the investment to move forward. No, they're already putting skin in the game. They love something, they have identified an opportunity, they develop the technology a little bit, it's still wobbly, which is fine, and then they come into us and we help them really optimize their journey towards revenue. And on 8 December, which is in a couple of weeks' time or 3 weeks' time, then they will be pitching for 1-year incubation, as I mentioned earlier on the milestone. This is a snapshot of the Lean Startup program. We focus on business modeling and customer meetings and customer validations, developing the MVP, marketing sprints by week 5, and all the time, every startup must meet customers every week. This is a customer-centered program. Week 6, we start to focus more on acquisitions and marketing experiments and then pitching. We have mini demo day, which we did last week. And basically, we filter those who are not working on point towards investment of 8 December. Maybe they need more time to develop their MVP. Maybe there are different barriers. The team is not coming together to develop, on point the experiments. We give them time and they can come back later to Cubic to support them. And then now we are in week 8, which is Ruwad week. Right now we have a pause in the program and we resume next week, which is for looking at their pitching and investment and looking at their legal barriers and looking at the financials, and we're looking at doing some due diligence. And week 10 is rehearsal pitches, and week 11 it's pitching to raise investment. So this is what happens usually. They get the key for an investment and 1-year incubation. Hopefully, next year, if you are in an idea stage or just build up an MVP with no revenue, you can apply for the Lean Startup program. The whole point of this discussion today is about acceleration. So this is the acceleration program, and the objective of it is through customer-centered meetings, you get inspired to develop your product. And basically, through those touch points, you already have an MVP and early revenue. We will help you to gain further clarity on your product roadmap. And you develop a strategy, you develop the funding for that strategy, and you develop milestones for your sprints, and you start to execute with the meeting with the customers. It's not disconnected, it's actually built with, not built for your customers. The second point is deeper understanding on your validation and acquisition channels. The cost, first of all, which are the most converting channels and their cost, acquisition cost, and looking at unit economics and understanding what matters. Key hires definitely is a startup. The moment you start to move forward, you need to look about somebody to help you to increase your revenue, to develop your product, to do more marketing experiments. It's not going to be anymore a 2 or 3 people gig. It needs to have a more rigorous team, which also, that's why you need also the funds. So you need to work out on smart hiring, and we share with you different techniques, how to look into equity as a weapon or as a tool to acquire key hires on certain conditions, of course. And we increase your investment readiness through having the needed deal room with a due diligence pack and with the needed mindset to pitch for more sophisticated investment, because the early stage pre-seed is different than this stage, which is pre-seed or seed stage. You are going to meet more savvy angels asking deeper questions, and you need to be more equipped with the needed experiments and business model and communication tool and mindset and negotiation skills to definitely to close investment. The format is 16 weeks long, so from January till May, and it's 3 sessions every 3 weeks. So the tempo is different than in the Lean Startup program. It's 3 days every 3 weeks, just to give you enough time to think, develop a sprint, execute it, and then bring in data to the program so we can coach you. And again, it's bundled between coaching and training. The acceptance criteria, so for you, if you're now on the call or you're going to listen to this talk later, this is what we're looking at an assessment criteria. First, you need to have an MVP live, your life. Your product is out there. It's not perfect. It's an MVP. It's a minimum viable product. It is still wobbly, requires a lot of development. We understand that, but at least your life. Second thing, you're a fully dedicated founder or co-founder. So at least one of the founders or co-founders is fully dedicated, full-timer. Because just as straight on, if you're not fully dedicated for a startup, you won't be able to accelerate. It's going to be a side gig, a side pocket money, and you're not going to explore the potential of your business model or future business models. The startup, definitely on point 3 or criteria 3, you need to have a revenue. So you already generated some revenue. We're not talking about profitability. We're talking about revenue. Early tractions, few deals here and there. It does not definitely more rigorous recurrent revenue and very steady financials. We don't expect that at early stage. We expect that some customers are coming and leaving because your product is not that good, but there is a potential for it, potential for the business model also. And also you're seeking to raise investment and incubation. When you come into the program, you're coming to an incubator that will invest in you and incubate you for a year. So we are not a bank. We are not a business center to offer spaces. We are a bundle of everything. So this is what incubation works: coaching, investment, and training, and showcasing you to follow up investment. So this is a nutshell on the program. This is module 1. It will kick off in January. First, we level up. We do a quick kind of like a business model clinic to understand where you're at, to understand your metrics, and we define some objectives together so you understand your roadmap. And we identify key metrics, how you measure value and how you need to lift that value along the way. 2 weeks later, this is an exception. The only jump we're going to do it 2 weeks is here, and then the rest is going to be 3 weeks. So you come and you pitch what happened based on the tasks that was provided and experiments with your customers, and then you show the analytics and you show some product strategy. Module 3 is about channels and channel experiments and unit economics and go-to-market roadmap. Module 4 is about investment ecosystem, to understand how you source investment. And you look into your financials, because there's no way you're going to create your investment strategy without really looking about your financial projections from a cash flow perspective, from business perspective as key outcomes, target revenues, so on and so forth. And the module 5 is key. It's an investment readiness bootcamp. We put you in a very intensive 4 days bootcamp, and we increase your readiness from documentation purposes, mindset purposes. You understand the whole jargon of investment, from VC, venture capital, to angel investors, to already we are your institutional investor as an incubator. And then pitching rehearsals and demo day. And we will look into an investor series. We invite investors, we do a panel, so on and so forth. So as we are now here in our talk, so you look, if you already have a product live, this is what's going to happen. We invite you to apply to Cubic. So go to the website, or you can Google accelerate your startup at Cubic. It's going to pop up immediately, accelerate, and click. You will fill an application. Again, if you want to go Cubic General, or if you want to go to Cubic Digital and Beyond in partnership with Onido, it's your call. depending on who you want to be your investor. And then you go into the acceleration in January 20, and you pitch in May for raising 250,000 riyals from us and from external investors. So this is your opportunity not only to source money, funds from an incubator, but also to pitch to angels, because it's a demo day, it's a public event. We invite vetted investors. This is very important. It's not that anybody who's going to come take out your time. They are vetted investors invited with an investor tag to come and talk to you. And it's a synchronized, well-created experience to create value for you as entrepreneurs. And later on, we will check in if you want further follow-up investor from us or from the also investors in the ecosystem, and you can renew another year of incubation. And hopefully, if you look at the orange and the deep green, we will help you in the Lean Acceleration Program to achieve product market fit. Now we'll talk about market fit means that the market you're offering, your product is fitting the market, not only one specific segment, but many segments. And in order to satisfy many segments, you need to develop your product. And in order to develop your products, you need to meet your customers to understand what do they need. You prioritize your product, and you run also validation sprint on the channels to acquire them, and you optimize your front-end business model. We'll talk about this in a while. Once you do so, then you start to working on the back end of your business model, which is your partnerships, key activities, key resources, and you start to tinker your cost structure. And if you achieve that, you achieve business model fit. That is the third stage in your key milestone as a startup. And later on, you start for questioning, is this business model scalable or not? Not any business model is scalable. Maybe the technology has constraints, the channel has constraints. There are so many constraints for not scaling, right? And then either you stay and we renew our investment with you, or you will exit the incubator, not exit the business. This is a snapshot on startups. So I put in on the left, 4 types of startups. So some of them are coming with funds and with product dev team. Some startups are coming with funds, but no dev team, so they need to outsource. Some startups are with no funds and with a product dev team, no funds, no product team. So you look at the 4 quadrants here. And you see that each one has an advantage or a disadvantage. Of course, you need to have your tech team with you. This is the whole point of a startup. Outsourcing is going to create slowness in your execution. Every time you need to wait for a fund to do product development. The Lean Startup Program will be theory for you if you cannot execute what we're talking about. So be mindful that to source investment from fans, family, all self-inject, or hire developers to be with you to do product iterations. And look what happened in our programs. So these are different startups who raised funds pre, during, and post. And look down in the Lean and in the lab, Lean Acceleration Program, the one that we did the demo day in September. Qatar, Facility, Find a Nurse, ASAP, and Debito, all the 5 got follow-up investment on the demo day. This is from us. And then now we're helping them to source investment from external investors. Debito did close from overseas, ASAP is in a discussion, and so on and so forth. So this is going to share with you some business cases from the startups. So you just heard names, but I'm going to tell you what happened. So HomeDoc was incubated around a year and a half. They graduated. They were incubated a year and a half ago. They graduated after 2 years of incubation. So they came in, they were live. We put them in the Lean Acceleration Program. They did 9x growth and valuation, right? 9x. And then they raised $2 million USD during our time. They were still growing and raising further. And it's a healthcare startup. Urban Point, in partnership with Ooredoo, you got a message if you're an Ooredoo customer that the Urban Point partnered with them, and you get different offerings on discounts in FMB. They raised more than $1 million and operating in 3 countries. B, delivery, if you order from on-demand apps, surely B delivery is coming to you. And it's not a logistics company. They develop their technology for fleet management. Debito, it's a fintech that now graduated our 2 years under Digital and Beyond, got follow-up investment from Digital and Beyond in partnership with Ooredoo, and now they are in the fintech incubator. ASAP is still incubated under Digital and Beyond and raised follow-up investment. I4Build is still incubated, and they will finish their incubation in 6 months' time, and looking to raise funds, of course. C-Wallet got follow-up investment also from, they raised actually 600,000, and also they went to the FinTech incubator. Printly and Material Bids are also moving forward in their incubation and raising investment. So this is a nutshell. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to look at the questions. Right. If there's no questions, then that's fine. I will continue. Right. The startup journey. So if you have an idea, then the Lean Startup program for you. If you have a product live and you are, okay, so, right. So I will pause here and I will look into the questions since they are coming. So are you limited to IT related startups, or are you interested in CPG as well? So as a mixed incubator, we really don't mind which sector you're coming from or what technology or enabling technology you're coming to develop value for your customers. So yeah, we are sector agnostic, and Ooredoo has specific themes which are related to 5G. As you know, lately the hackathon just finished. AI, blockchain technology in specific sectors such as transport, health tech, media and entertainment, and sports tech. So these are areas that Ooredoo is interested in. Nevertheless, Cubic is also sector agnostic. Anything that is relevant to support our entrepreneurs, we're all for it. Great. Moving forward. So as you are now in your, if you are having an MVP or you're having a idea, so the idea is for the Lean Startup program, an MVP and early traction and a full dedicated entrepreneur is for the Lean Acceleration program, and will help you to achieve the third bubble, which is the product market fit, and hopefully later on the business model fit. So these are the stages, as I always, talking, what do you mean by fit and fit? These are the key stages of a startup. Problem solution fit, we call it PSF, product market fit, PMF, and business model fit, BMF. These are your key stages that the investors are waiting for you to complete to give you an investment. So be very mindful about these key milestones, and I'm going to show you how this translates to you. So when you come up with an idea, you're searching for the problem, who has the problem, which segment, and the suggested solution, is it fit for them, and are they willing to pay money for you? So right now, in that stage, you will be discovering who is the customer segment and what value would suggest, and you're trying to validate. Validation means commitment from the customers towards the solution with financial commitment, not I like it, but I'm committing to it. As you are in this stage, you're all over the place, you go back and forth, you're still uncertain. There's so many unknown things in your business model, which is so normal. And this is what is different between a startup and a small enterprise or a medium enterprise one day. If you have an existing solution in the market, then you're not an entrepreneur. It is not a startup. It is a normal business with a validated, well-known business model. If you're bringing something new to market or new completely to the market, this is a startup where you need to really validate what's hot and what's not in your business model. And as you move forward in time and you run experiments, this is where your uncertainty and risk goes down, and your revenue, of course, will go up. Now, this is the wobbly roadmap as you're exploring the business model. So the first quadrant, big one, is exploring the business model. You are creating it. And you go left and right to understand the components of that business model. And once you validate that business model, you start to exploit it. You start to maximize its value to you as a business and to the customers, of course, and to the whole 9 blocks of the business model. So now this is I think this is my favorite slide for the entrepreneurs. If you're not an explorer, you're coming to explore in a market different situations other than the one that you have in mind, you're going to be like this. The moment a customer is telling you something else than what you have in mind, you're going to be always stuck at your ideas, and you're not going to be lean. So being lean is being adaptive to inputs from your customers, right? And if you go there and you say, they're not understanding me, I'm not maybe communicating it properly, or they don't get it, you're basically not listening from what that segment is saying. It may be another segment is interested, but that segment surely is not interested. Not because they're not understanding you, because it's not a must-have. It's a nice to have, and not willing to commit financially against it. So if you look at this journey of exploring and exploiting, right, you see that as you move forward in time, your risk is being decreased. And also, once you validate, once you discover, then you start to validate, and then you accelerate. Your risk is getting small, less and less. So you look at the orange bubble, you're decreasing as you move right. You're decreasing your risk, and also either expected revenue or revenue is going higher. And then this is how you explore and move towards exploit. Now, if you look up on the milestones, we have the Lean Startup program here to help you achieve problem solution fit, which is this stage, which takes a lot of time to understand it really. And we have investor series to help you source investment. And the acceleration phase is there is an acceleration program to help you achieve PMF, product market fit. And later on, you will move towards business model fit and scaling, right? So this is how you see your journey as a startup, and how Cubic, and with the partnership of Uridu under Digital and Beyond, we can help you to incubate you to invest in. So this is the Lean Acceleration Program we're talking about here. And this is the second milestone. I hope I put things in perspective, where you're coming from and what do we offer. And this is your business model, the 9 blocks. We look at the strategizer business model. And there are 3 components to it. The right-hand side, which is customer segment value proposition, channel, and customer relationship. This is the front stage. This is what is visible to the customers. And we look about the desirability. If they are interested to get that solution, so it's there you think you identified a problem to a segment, and you're offering a solution, and you offer it through a channel, and the way you deal with them is desirable. Viability is about money. Is it viable in the market? And feasibility, can you execute it within the available resources and technologies and partners? So all these are questions together, but definitely the early stages are about desirability and viability. So the solution to the segment and the revenue model. So how we go about it? You come up with ideas, you design experiments, and those ideas and hypotheses are coming from your interactions in the market. You believe that there is an opportunity here. You come up with a solution, you design an experiment on how to reach your customer segment, and then you put the metrics, how to measure success, and then you deploy the experiment in the market, and then you bring in key insights, and then this is how you reduce the uncertainty. Through building, experiment, measuring, putting metrics, measuring, learning on any item of the business model. And then you further understand, because you're live with an MVP, early revenue, you further understand the dynamics of your customers. You know, especially on a B2B, you start to understand further the procurement roadmap, the time to cash. You understand the different backstage dynamics of a customer. For example, you start to understand who is your ambassador in a company. If you're targeting, for example, a marketing person in a company, then that person will be your influencer or ambassador. Then they need to talk to the CFO, convince them financially, the CEO for decision making. Maybe some in the company are saboteurs. Maybe this solution might hammer existing KPIs on their business model, or maybe they don't want to change and adopt technology. They're fine, so they're risk averse. So you start to understand, dig deeper beyond what is the solution, but more deeper into your channel acquisitions and the customer relationship, right? And of course, you understand the time to value, time to cash. This is key, and you have some tools on testing cards and learning cards. And with those, you generate key insights, you go back to the business model, and then you change it, and then you design new experiments. And with that, these experiments, by the way, are so much different than early stage in the Lean Startup program. They have different dynamics, they have different ways to measure them, and the impact and the level of maturity of the conversation is way higher, and they will lead to higher value. And here you will look, any input will help you with all these experiments to give insights on the product, on the channel, and on the revenue. So I'm going to dig deeper into now product, on the channel, and on the revenue. These are the three components that help you at least to move forward in your product market fit experiments. So first one, the product mapping. So you're already live, you're starting to gather data, you have some early transactions or traffic, but we start to aggregate the data and understand, first of all, how you need to position yourself. This is an example for back pain and existing solutions from upright, back knee, backbone, and fine posture, which was incubated at Cubic. So you look about mapping, positioning, and understanding what is the key value and what is your key differentiator. Now, this is not a business model canvas. This is the Lean Stack canvas by Ash Moria. And that canvas provides you different additional granularity for a startup, what it needs, which is the unfair advantage, which is what is the unique selling point that you're putting out there that differentiates you from the competitors. And if you look about this one as key metrics, you dig deeper into how you measure value for your business model. And basically you aim to lift that metric through your experiments. And there is a lot of jargon on that we discover in the program. This is a product board map vision, and there is other tools that we work on to help you design your sprints and prioritize your feature sets to get the customer segments that you already met and you understand what they need. The second component, so besides products, there's the marketing channel experiments. So we try to aggregate deep analysis on every bit of those stages. This is the pirate metric, the R metric, AARRR, acquisition, where if you do a social media ad or an email campaign or SEO, they click and they come into your website, so you acquire them. Doesn't mean they are your customers, you acquire them on your as a touch point. If they sign up, then you activated them. Now, sometimes if they're there if you have, let's say, a social media platform, then if they're staying active, that means you retain them and later on you create revenue. Or if you have different business model where when they come on your page, you click to buy something, then revenue comes before retention. And if they stick and you have a high NPS, not promoter score, you retain them and they will refer you. You create referral programs and they refer you to other customers, and you create value loops, which is very important for you. So in this jargon, we will dig deeper into the program about the 19 channels, and then we help you, if you have definitely HubSpot or any CRM, it will help you definitely to get the better analytics and document all your experiments to have better visibility on the unit economics, on the cost of acquisitions and the conversions of every customers all the way to the bottom of the funnel. The third item, it is the revenue model and the revenue streams. So as you know, you might have different customer segments, right? Whether you have a marketplace or you have double-sided business model, whatever, supply demand, or just simply different customer segments, then you really understand what is the value for each segment, whether it's B2C or B2B or more granularity on a B2C, different subsegments there. You will really understand what is the anticipated value and the offered value. You sharpen your vocab, you sharpen your elevator pitch, and you understand the acquisition cost really in granularity with every segment, with every cohort analysis. And we'll dig deeper into that to understand, because this is very important, how much you keep your customers, the lifetime value that you keep them, and you extract value, monetary value from them, and you provide them value through your product and experience or service. You need to understand the acquisition versus LTV, total acquisition cost, not the top of the funnel acquisition cost. And then the customer relationship, how you're going to maintain that relationship, what's the cost of that, so on and so forth. So revenue models are diverse. There will always be A/B testing on product, on marketing, on revenue models, and also pricing tactics. We'll work on pricing exercises. And all you do is you experiment, as we mentioned earlier. You design experiments, you push them in the market, and then you try to understand what the customers are saying. And based on that, you come back to your business model and you will influence. This is the infinite loop that a startup is embedded in. I showed you this earlier in the quadrant of explore and exploit. So as you move forward towards reducing uncertainty and increasing revenue, you'll further understand your business model based on ideas. You design business design prototypes, and then you assess which one you're going to run with. You run them, push them in the market, and you get insights, and you change your business model until you achieve business model fit. Before that is product market fit. Before that is a problem solution fit, the early stage, which is the idea stage from the Lean Startup program. The second stage is Lean acceleration and product market fit. 20% of those who start make it towards the PMF, product market fit. It's not easy, it is challenging, but once you hit PMF, the investor will come in. And how you will know about it? First of all, there are different experiments that we'll share with you to understand from your customers how you get to the PMF stage through analytics and through data. You get to know it once you reach it. One of our startups is doing right now 40% growth month on month. The moment the customers are happy, they're not leaving, you don't have a leaking bucket, and they're coming and they're referring, but you need to further optimize the back end, not anymore the front end, which is your key resources, key activities, mostly operation, partnership, business dev, towards having and optimizing your costs. This is where the product market fit has been achieved. There are other approaches to identify it, which definitely will be shared in the Lean Acceleration Program. So you look at the cycle, you're going to continuously work, and through that you de-risk your business model and business case, and that will yield to increase revenue, and you will attract investments from the investors. And this is the whole point about the incubator, to help you through science. And through entrepreneurship is it's management, it's business management at its best, and we go evidence-based. And it's a different roadmap than building a company, a traditional company, where you write a business plan and you submit it for investment. This doesn't work because your business plan for a startup is fully uncertain, with uncertainties and assumptions, because it's a new business model. The last item I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to open in 2-3 minutes the questions at the end of the session, because we allocated around 15 minutes for the questions. So we're going to cover now the fundraising, which is a key component. The whole point of the program is to increase your investment readiness. We're not doing this for the theory of it. It's very applied to the program for the entrepreneurs to gain traction, to improve their product, to optimize their marketing machine, to hire key employees and maybe co-founders strategically and understanding, in order to also raise investment. So knowing the ugly truth, these are the top 20 reasons for failure from CMB Insights. Look at this. The second reason for failure is running out of cash. The first one is, of course, no market need. The entrepreneurs are pushing forcefully something to the market because they believe in it, and the customers are not interested in it. There's no market need for it. The second one is running out of cash, which is huge. It's around 30%. So this is the main cause of that. Running out of cash is your runway is finished. You had money in the beginning, you start to work, and you got busy in the operation and the launching, and maybe spending more money than it's needed in social influencers and burning campaigns left and right, or investing too much in a product where you don't really know if the customers really need that product, right? So this is where most of the startups fall. And if you look how much you have money, let's say $100,000 or reals, and you look up month on month how much you're burning or you're consuming every month money, and then you run out of it, and then you stop and you stall. You cannot anymore move. If you really don't have a good strategy, this is a key thing. And for us, as an incubator and as coaches, we will help you to have a good strategy, not to stall, not to manage your burn rate, to bootstrap, and to work on your funding and to really manage your milestones in terms of disbursement towards the product, towards key hires, towards marketing sprints, and legal. Of course, you need to allocate for legal compliance, whether you need from a registration and renewal perspective, also from paying lawyers to have proper terms and conditions and contracts with your vendors and customers. And this will help you to move from further validation and you move to seed stage. And this is where basically the product market fit stage that we are in, and we're trying to help you. And later on, you'll go for pre-series A or bridge round, we call it, and then series A, series B, series C. So I will stop at the last module here, which is module 5, the investment readiness bootcamp, and which is going to happen in 6 April, 5, 6, 7, 8 April. These are the modules. We look at pre-assessment, fundraising strategy, deal terms, and documentation. We look at the investor pitch, and we focus on investor negotiations, because it's important to build the same way you deal with the customer, you need to deal with an investor, and there is a funnel for that, from interest to digging in and deep into closing the deal. And after that, in May, pitching for raising follow-up investment after doing rehearsals on demo day. So with that, if that resonates with you, go to Cubic website. There's a Lean Acceleration Program. Accelerate your company, scroll down, and you can apply. And hopefully 20 Jan till 20 May will be the program. This is my email. If you have any questions, now we'll open the questions. We had good 13 minutes for that. So you can pose questions on the chat. They will come to me, and then we will converse on them if you have any further questions. Most welcome, Tasneem. Assalamu alaikum, Asma. All right, I don't think there is any questions, but if you have any, okay, so we have a question here. It's about the PowerPoint. I believe you need to reach out to Ruwad. I'm not Ruwad team if they are publishing the videos. That would be something that to refer to Ruwad committee. If you reach me via email, I'm happy to support. So within that, just a quick recap. Idea stage, Lean Startup Program. If you have an MVP with no revenue, also Lean Startup Program, you will come into the MVP category because you don't have revenue. We'll help you to validate the Lean Startup Program. It happens every year one time, and it starts in September till December. And if you already have a product live with early revenue, please apply. We're happy to support you. We will call you for an interview. We understand your business case, and then we will reply to you, hopefully with an acceptance if you meet the criteria. Product live, early revenue, committed entrepreneur, and looking to raise investment and incubation. And hopefully we'll support you along the way. So a question from Sarah. What is the best business model methodology that you recommend to start with as a new startup? All right. So great question, Sarah. So we go by the lean. If you noticed, everything is called lean startup, lean acceleration, lean manufacturing. We adopt the lean approach. Basically, the lean has been created in Toyota. Actually post-World War II, the Americans helped the Japanese to rebuild their factory, and then they co-created this approach called lean, and basically taking out the waste of time and resources called muda. So lean is a very big, powerful approach to look at. You should not do anything now that is not relevant for your customers. And in order to do something that is not relevant, then you go and you meet them and you talk to them. So check lean. You can check Steve Blank. I can write for you on the chat. So check in Steve Blank, 7 Steps to Epiphany. And you have the Lean Startup with Eric Ries. So these are kind of like good guidelines. And from a practical perspective, check in Strategizer. With Yves Pigneur and with Alex Osterberg, which I'm also a certified coach. There are 2 tiers. I'm in the upper tier of experienced coaches licensed by Strategizer. And these are very good tools for you. If you check in the YouTube of Cubic, you will start to see a lot of videos that we also posted that will help you to further understand what you can do at early stage. How can I do my MVP? You know, to increase your readiness towards coming on the Lean Startup program. And you, of course, can apply for next year. We will start in September. Of course, in the next year, we're going to do a hackathon. You can come into it on a weekend, develop your idea further. And hopefully with hackathons, usually the awards are like small grants. Right now, for example, in Ooredoo 5G hackathon, which Cubic deployed last weekend under the Ooredoo Digital and Beyond, the winners will get 25,000 riyals as a grant, and then they will be invited to the Lean Startup program. Right? Next year, we'll do it earlier, maybe before the summer. And those who get a small ticket, then we'll push them for the Lean Startup program to raise follow-up. Okay, we have, I think, answered all the questions. Thank you, Ruwad team, for having this opportunity. And good evening, everybody.